What do you hope to show against this Raiders defense, your teammates, yourself, and these Browns fans with their play today?
I'm who they've been looking for. Appreciate it.
Shedeur Sanders made his first start of his NFL career, and he not only had the national talking heads paying attention, but former NFL legends also weren't holding back on giving their takes and what they thought about his first game as well. We have never seen a 5th round pick with this much hype and attention and this much confidence really ever before. And the reason for that is because he should have never been a 5th round pick in the first place. He was projected to go top 15, a lot of mock drafts even had him going number 2. The guys who really evaluate players all said he was as talented as anyone in his class, and then what happened happened, and ever since, the entire Shedeur fanbase has been waiting for him to get his opportunity, and even though he didn't play perfect, he provided the spark that the Browns have not had this entire season, and Kevin Stefanski already named Shedeur the starter for next week against the 49ers. That is going to be a much tougher test against a defense that is going to bring the house like the Ravens did in Shedeur's NFL debut. Dan Orlovsky on First Take said he agrees with Kevin Stefanski's decision to make Shedeur the Browns starting quarterback moving forward, and he talked about how happy he was for Shedeur.
Yeah, I'm happy for Shedeur. Good for him. I agree with Stephen A. He would be my starting quarterback moving forward for the remainder of the season. I don't think you can watch the deep ball, one, and say you don't want at least more opportunity of that, or
with Shedeur behind center. It almost felt like the defense played with a little more pep in their step because they knew if they got a stop, there was actually a chance to put up more than 3 points on the offensive side of things. Dillon Gabriel has been horrible in the red zone all year long. I think it's because he can't see over the offensive line. I know Shedeur only had 1 passing touchdown, but we don't know how many he could have had because every time he did drive the Browns down the field, he was pulled for a Judkins Wildcat. It did work this game, so I have nothing to complain about, and I know it was his first start, but moving forward, I want Shedeur to have the chance to execute in the red zone. Cam Newton came at things from a completely different angle on First Take. A lot of the guys on the show did talk about the good, but they still did not shy away from critiquing Shedeur's performance a little bit, but Cam was all praise, and it almost seems like he feels the Browns coaching staff is still disrespecting him.
Okay, now,
go ahead, Cam.
He's a rookie, for Christ's sake. And name the rookie quarterbacks that's in the league right now. I give you one, Cam Ward. Okay, what Shedeur Sanders showed the Cleveland Browns and the Cleveland faithful is this. He is capable. Dillon Gabriel hasn't given you that yet. Having a week of practice, he said, oh, I only did this with a week of practice. Okay, cool. What is he really saying? With only a week of practice, I was able to do that. Well, just give me more, and I will be able to give you more. The reason why he's running or rolling out he made was a wild play. When was the last time? And that is including Johnny Manziel. That is including Zapp. That is including Baker Mayfield. That is including every single quarterback that has ever been a part of the Cleveland Browns. He's a young player.
Sure.
Are we jumping the gun? I wouldn't say we're jumping the gun, but he's also a rookie, and he's able to get spared certain things because he's new to this.
Cam was all fired up there, but with he himself being a quarterback that was disrespected a little bit throughout his career, and with him being a guy who played with a chip on his shoulder, he understands the motivation and the chip that Shedeur has been playing with. He talked about how Shedeur has the ability to make those wild card plays that no Browns QB in the last 5 years has been able to make, and if Shedeur is already doing what he's doing with only 1 week of practice and barely any chemistry with the receivers, Cam is pumped about what Shedeur is going to be able to do as he grows week by week and does gain that necessary chemistry to be successful with his guys. And then the reaction I was most excited for was what Shannon Sharp and Ocho had to say. They have been talking about Shedeur Sanders all season long and have voiced their frustrations of the Browns gatekeeping him from us. But before I get into what they had to say, real quick, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 60,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, without further ado, here is what Shannon had to say.
Look, they didn't run the football worth of nothing. 27 rushes, 67 yards.
Yeah.
But Ocho, his ability, and he's looking, the thing that you have to like about him, he's looking to push the ball down the field.
Absolutely.
He realized I don't catch big fish fishing around the shore.
Right.
I need to cast way out there. You see, he rolls out of the pocket, throws it over the top.
Yeah.
He's going to give those guys an opportunity to make plays. I was very impressed with him, and I know what everybody said. It wasn't nobody but the Raiders. But had they lost, he was going to say, well, he can't beat the Raiders. How is he going to beat this team, that
Anybody
team?
else, yeah.
Well, we won't know how he'll do against this team or that team because we know the team that he played today, he put foots in them. Go ahead, Ocho.
Shannon actually had a better breakdown than what I expected because I expected him to just hype him up the whole time. But he talked about how it doesn't matter who the opponent is, you just have to handle your business and kind of take care of what's in front of you. And that is the mindset Shedeur needs to have the rest of the way. He knew the Raiders were terrible, so that is why once the Browns had the lead, and once he already threw that bad interception, he made sure to throw the ball away when nothing was there. He played it safe while still trying to allow plays to develop. And next week against the Niners, he knows he is going to have to make more plays downfield and put up points for the Browns to have a chance to win. He also is going to have to get rid of the ball quickly because we know the Niners front is going to bring pressure and they're going to try to make 12's life miserable. I think this game was one of those aha moments for Shannon because really for the last 5 weeks or so, he had been begging the Browns to put 12 in, and he was right all along. And not all of the national media wanted Shedeur in. I've seen so many shows talking about how he's not ready or that his tendencies won't work in the NFL, so I don't think there was anyone happier to see this performance than Shannon and Ocho. I also really liked what Rex Ryan had to say. He really ripped on Dillon Gabriel, talking about how he just doesn't have the prototype to be a successful quarterback in the NFL, and that's really something I harped on ever since the Browns drafted the guy. He's too short, he has a small frame, it's not like he's all that mobile, and he's afraid to throw the ball over 15 yards down the field. His ceiling was just so capped off, and that's what made me advocate for Shedeur the most out of anything. The offense was just so limited with Dillon behind center.
And the reason for it is that guy, Dillon Gabriel, has zero traits for an NFL starter, physical traits.
Sure.
He might have the mental.
Yeah.
That's why I said I think he could be a hell of a coach one day.
Yeah.
All right? But he doesn't have a single trait that says he's an NFL starting quarterback, where clearly Shedeur does. All right? We know he's got that arm talent. I love his touch on the deep ball. I loved it in college. All right? And here's facts that'll say why you got to keep him. All right? Yesterday, he completed 3 passes for over 35 yards. If you take the whole season with all those other Browns, they completed 1 ball over 35 yards. 1. That's why Myles Garrett's like, holy cow. Like, whatever.
I think the biggest stat that really stood out that Rex talked about was those 3 passes for over 35 yards when there had only been 1 the entire season. That's the reason why Myles Garrett had the reaction he did with the completion to Isaiah Bond. I even think because the offense was finally able to spread out, that's what opened things up for Dylan Sampson to take that check down pass to the house. When defenses know exactly what you can and can't do, it becomes very hard to break short gains loose because the defense plays up close and is ready for it. But when the opposing secondary actually has to drop back every now and then, that's when big and exciting plays open up. So overall, Shedeur played super solid for his first start. I know it was just the Raiders and they have maybe the worst overall roster in the league, but Shedeur had so much pressure. He had the whole world watching, and he delivered, and now I can't wait for next week against the Niners. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. Let me know what you guys thought about Shedeur's first NFL start in the comments below, and please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet, and let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.